Hello, my name is Justin John. I am a nurse as well as a student in the Family Nurse Practitioner program at Upstate Medical University. This is a presentation on how you can go about educating on a chronic illness. The topic that I have chosen for the discussion is cancer, more specifically, alternative treatments to cancer. The American Cancer Society website, which can be accessed at www.cancer.org, will be the site that I'm using as the main reference resource. The American Cancer Society is a reputable resource. If you scroll down to the bottom, you can see that it is a qualified 501c tax-exempt organization. This means that it is not meant to serve any private interests. You can also see as we scroll through that there aren't really any advertisements or superfluous products or information listed on the website. All the information present is something that is pertinent to cancer education and to the site itself. Something to touch on is that ads on a page is sometimes something that we can advise and educate our patients on when they are doing their own educational research at home. Generally, those sites are trying to sell you information and are more likely focused on ad revenue and tend to not be as reputable. So in this case, the American Cancer Society really doesn't have any sort of advertisements or other information listed here. Really, the main thing that they're asking for is, donate if you can, and otherwise there's resources for the patient to access if they want to actually speak to someone. So if you go to the search function, we're going to look up alternative therapies. So it's going to be the main one. And this is the main topic that I want to cover. It's complementary and alternative methods and cancer. So another reason that I like this site so much is because they present their information in almost a conversational tone. They have the hyperlinks set up almost as questions that the reader may have. And this provides like almost a pseudo conversation between the reader and the site. So if you were to go to this site, you can ask what are complementary and alternative methods, and then how are they used to manage cancer? What kinds of treatments are there? Why are they harder to evaluate? The risks of it, if it's safe or not safe, if insurance is something that they can utilize to actually have these alternative and complementary therapies done, and how to discuss it with their provider, and how at the end it really is something that should be patient-driven. They also do provide their resources here, and they are reputable and peer-reviewed studies and such. Something else that's important to touch on is if you go to the bottom, you see that the editorial team behind the American Cancer Society is made up of doctors as well as oncology certified nurses with deep knowledge of cancer care, as well as journalists, editors, and translators with extensive expertise in medical writing. So all of this is done by reputable professionals within the healthcare field. It also shows the last revised date, and it does that for pretty much all of its articles and information, so you know if what you're getting is up-to-date information. So if we were to go to what kinds of cancer treatments are there, you can see that they talk about proven treatments, complementary therapy, alternative therapies, what are considered fake treatments, and that it's all been revised on this date. So that's a general overview about how you would navigate through the actual site. The main issue that you want to look for, you can either type in through the search bar, or if you were to just click something like this, it takes you to almost a grid-like function where you can click on more information for what you would like as far as complementary and alternative medicine in this particular scenario. Another good function about the American Society webpage is that you can translate to different languages if you like. So even within the actual site itself, you can translate. Or if you're within one of the actual articles, so for example, let's talk about marijuana and its uses in cancer. You can actually download the topic as a PDF, and in this particular case, it's only available in English, so if you wanted to print this out and have it as a resource for your patients to actually go over together, it's an availability. But for some specific topics, if you wanted to go into it, you can actually, so let's say for example, what are the risks of not using mainstream cancer treatments? You can go in and you can actually translate it within the site to Spanish as well, and then download it within a different language. If there's other languages that you need to go into, they actually have them as well. Further resources for the American Cancer Society, they give you access to their partners, information about them, and then how you can get involved. Like I referenced in the beginning, they really only have the one option as donations as far as any sort of revenue function, but then they also go into the research programs that they've gone into and the amount of money that they've invested in cancer research, the amount of services that they provided to patients, the community initiatives that they've done, as well as the progress that they've made within healthcare as far as in terms of cancer treatment since they were started in 1991. Something that is also pertinent currently with everything that's going on is they even have information about how the coronavirus is affecting cancer and how it's affecting treatment, and especially in regards to people who are immunocompromised and how they can be dealing with the corona outbreak. Overall, I would say that the American Cancer Society is a very decent site. It's reputable. It utilizes actual medical professionals as in regards to the doctors and oncology nurses and trained staff who know how to provide the information and put it in a way that's accessible to patients as far as being able to read it and understand what it means. They have a lot of resources as far as information, a helpline that they can talk to, and information regarding community awareness, things that they do as far as volunteering, Relay for Life, and then making strides against breast cancer awareness. So that's essentially my overview of the American Cancer Society as a tool for both providers as well as patients in regard to getting more information about cancer. In this specific instance, we went over alternative treatments, but there are plenty of other things that they can go into. If you're a new patient, you can go into understanding your diagnosis. If you're having issues with treatment and payment, and then especially in regards to something like cancer that does affect the whole family, you can go into resources for the caregivers and family, or if you're a parent, information regarding your child. That's it.